Have you ever been so desperate for a job you'll endure almost anything, only to find yourself trapped under a boss who seems determined to break you? That was me, micromanaged, humiliated, working through lunch breaks while my life crumbled at home. I thought I had escaped her. But she kept coming after me. Until one day, I found myself sitting 2 levels above her, with the power to end her reign of terror. If you've ever had a toxic boss or felt powerless at work, you're going to love this story. It starts with humiliation and ends with one of the most satisfying real-life workplace revenges you'll ever hear. Hit like, subscribe for more stories of karma and justice, and let's dive in. I remember sitting at my kitchen table, head in my hands, scrolling through job postings like it was my only lifeline. Because it was. My husband and I had both been laid off within weeks of each other. Bills were piling up. At night, we'd whisper about which expense to skip, groceries, medication, or the mortgage. So when a recruiter called with an offer, even a step down from my old job, I grabbed it. The pay wasn't great, but the manager and team seemed warm in the interviews. For a few days, it felt like hope. My official manager was Gary, a soft-spoken guy who seemed genuinely busy but kind. Because of his schedule, he temporarily handed me over to another manager, Jane. I was supposed to be a bridge between my team and hers. In reality, I was about to become her personal punching bag. Enter Jane, the antagonist. From day one, Jane exuded control. Not the steady, competent kind, the kind that prowls for weakness. She'd loom over my desk during lunch. "Oh, you're eating. That report should have been done an hour ago." She would call me at 11 p.m. on weekends, her voice syrupy and fake sweet. "This is urgent. I need you to," and then it would be something trivial, like rearranging a meeting invite. But the worst wasn't the work. It was the way she talked to me. Whispered jabs about my weight. "You're quite big for your race, aren't you?" Said like a joke, but always in front of someone. Little cuts, day after day. I filled 3 pages in a notebook with her comments. 3 pages. My only tiny act of rebellion was talking back sometimes. She hated that. Each time I defended myself, she doubled down. I stayed because we had no choice. Rent doesn't care if your boss is toxic. Breaking point. It happened on a Friday afternoon. My phone buzzed. My family back home was going through a tragedy. My stomach knotted. Before I could breathe, Jane was at my desk again, shrill over something so petty I barely processed it, a meeting invite missing someone she never told me about. "You're completely incompetent," she hissed. "Do you even know how to do your job?" I broke. Tears burned behind my eyes as I fled to an empty conference room and called Gary. My voice shook. "I can't do this anymore." He didn't sound surprised. "Half her team has quit," he said quietly. "Come work directly under me. Today. Just pack up and move." Relief washed over me. I thought, finally, I'm safe. But Jane wasn't done. For a few weeks, things were calmer. Gary shielded me. But Jane still hovered, firing off snippy emails, copying half the department. When I ignored her, she marched to my desk one day, loud enough for the office to hear. "She's not even qualified for this role. Gary just handed her this job because she cried." Gary heard. He stepped out, face red. "That's enough, Jane." But even after that public scolding, the emails, the digs, the gossip kept coming. My chest would tighten every morning when I opened my inbox. 2 months in, I snapped. I typed my resignation letter, stapled my 3 pages of Jane's comments, and CC'd everyone relevant. Gary begged me to stay, offered accommodations, a new title, flexible hours. But Jane was still there, still provoking from afar. "The only way I'll stay is if she goes," I told him. "She's not under my authority," he said, helpless. Her manager was overseas. HR had multiple complaints, at least 5 formal ones, and nothing had happened. So I left. Loudly. Without shame. I told everyone exactly why. The dark months. Those next 3 months were some of the hardest of my life. Nights when dinner was just bread slices so we could make the mortgage. Medical bills. A funeral. Even after my husband found a job, we were drowning in debt. I applied for 5 to 10 jobs a day, sometimes 20. Each rejection chipped away at me. Jane's voice haunted me, "You're not qualified." But somewhere deep down, I clung to the thought, this isn't the end of my story. The twist, a door opens. One morning, scrolling through LinkedIn, I saw a headline, a big shot from one of my old companies was joining the very company I had just left. My heart leapt. We'd worked closely before. I had his number. I sent a quick, polite text, "Congrats on the new role. Let me know if you want any insider insights." He replied within minutes. We had a quick call. I gave him an honest rundown, the good, the bad, where I thought they could innovate. At the end, his voice shifted. "Actually, would you consider coming back? I need a chief of staff." I almost dropped the phone. Chief of staff. I said yes. Revenge brewing. Imagine Jane's face when, at the first all-hands call, the big shot welcomed me as his chief of staff. All the VPs and higher-ups sat in a giant conference room, clapping politely. I now sat 2 levels above Jane. In 3 months, her team had hemorrhaged staff. Gary beamed at me, saying kind things. Jane. She didn't even try to fake it. She went nuclear. She emailed my boss, the big shot, calling me an unqualified idiot, claiming I'd tried to get her fired, and hinting that I'd lied my way up. She didn't even CC me. Big shot forwarded me the email with a simple, "What's this about?" My pulse hammered. This was it. The reckoning. We scheduled an hour-long call. My hands trembled, but my voice stayed calm. I laid it all out, how Jane had abused me and others, the resignation letters still on my desktop, the turnover numbers Gary could confirm, the nasty emails her current staff had quietly forwarded to me. I didn't embellish. I didn't need to. The evidence spoke for itself. Big Shot listened, silent except for a few low mms. Finally he said, "Thank you. Leave it with me." By Friday, Jane was gone. Fired. Climactic payoff, describe the feeling. I wish I could describe the exact moment I found out. An email popped up with HR's header, "Personnel change announcement." My eyes skimmed the words, "Effective immediately, Jane Smith is no longer with the company." My breath caught. The office buzzed quietly, whispers spreading. Someone passed me in the hall, murmuring, "Did you see? She's gone." I walked into my new office, shut the door, and just sat there. Not gloating. Not laughing. Just, breathing. For months, she'd made me feel powerless, small, like I didn't belong. And now. Justice. Clean, final, undeniable. Voice softens, reflective. Sometimes, the best revenge isn't loud or cruel. It's simply being in the right place, with the right integrity, when karma finally catches up. I didn't plan for Jane to get fired. I just did my job, told the truth, and waited. And in the end, it was enough. Reminder, toxic bosses don't last forever. Tell your story, hold your head high, and keep moving forward. You never know when life will hand you the chance to rise above. If this story hit home, give it a like, drop your own workplace revenge stories in the comments, and subscribe for more real-life tales of karma served cold.